should be obvious, but if you're a voice actor, if you want to keep your job, you probably shouldn't talk trash about your employer. This is something that went way over the heads of Genshin Impact voice actors that are doing some of the voices for some of the key characters in the game. They stepped out of bounds and started talking trash about the developer of the Hoyoverse, saying the things that they have done, at least racially and gender-wise, are something that they don't want to see representative in the game any longer. Of course, this goes in line with a lot of the talk and discourse around a boycott against the game itself, the Hoyoverse boycott, that kind of got popularity in America. At least up to 5,000 people represented this boycott. They started a change.org petition that got over 105,000 signatures. Maybe if those signatures are real, you had a sizable people banding together to go against this organization or games developer for its lack of representation when it comes to gender and racial groups. And this led to an overall boycott that didn't really achieve anything if you look at the numbers for this game, because this is a game that just reached $1 billion in revenue and had its highest monthly sales in July, the month where the boycott actually started. So it's kind of an ineffective boycott, but a boycott that started nonetheless a trend of attacking this game for its lack of gender and racial representation. And people were complaining the lack of minorities in this game. People were complaining the lack of gender preferences and things related to that. And these complaints mounted into an overall boycott with a list of demands that people wanted to see changes within the game itself. And of course, the developer of Genshin Impact had a perfect response that angered the fanbase, saying that the game is not real and you should probably understand that these are fictional worlds and fictional characters. And this response from the Genshin Impact team angered the fan base even more, at least the fan base of boycotters that actually started their overall declaration because of this response from the Genshin Impact team, not taking them seriously and questioning their dependence on these fictional worlds and characters to actually be related to modern day actions in real life. When you look at Genshin Impact, there's no diversity in Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact is in a fantastical world that has nobody from any race in the modern world in there, including Chinese people. No one's represented in Genshin Impact because we have purple-haired, red-eyed people that don't exist in reality playing these characters. So to demand some sort of equity in this game is just showing the overall delusion and need to influence and change the gaming industry to something that is representative of modern reality that people are not there to play games for. And I think that's the thing people are complaining about who are against the Genshin Impact boycott, because it's just doing something that is not in line with what people actually want to see in gaming. People don't want to see realistic, modern, diverse outlooks in gender and racial politics in a game about fantastical worlds and monsters. No one wants to see that. People want to see this far out fantastical designs and creativity that is unbound by our reality. And I think that's what Genshin Impact is. That's what all of these games are coming out from the Eastern world, and that used to come out in the Western world as well. It was not bound by this reality. I think that's why we play video games, so we're not bound by the reality that is surrounding us. We are there to play these games to escape reality. And I think that's what Genshin Impact exceeds at doing, and for them to try to bring it back down to this modern reality take is just against the intentions of the game designers and the game players that want to play these games. And that's why people are rejoicing against the actors that spoke out against Genshin Impact. They spoke out against this game, and now they're going on unhinged rants against the game players that rooted for them to lose their jobs, because obviously, if you're going to talk bad about your employer, you're going to lose your job. And I think that's what's happening with Genshin Impact right now. A lot of these voice actors came out in support of this boycott of their employer, thinking that will change something with the developer itself, not realizing as voice actors, you're highly expendable. And I think that's the situation, especially with AI being developed now. You're very expendable now. And I think that is the case that we're seeing today, where Genshin Impact just laid off the voice actors that were boycotting them, that were trying to bully them to do something that is the antithesis of making a profitable game. And I think that's the thing people that are boycotting Genshin Impact have to realize. Their inputs are going to lose the company millions and billions of dollars. So that's a situation that no company wants to be in. And to have your voice actors trying to champion the downfall of your company is against the company's actual intentions of making a profit. And I think that's why an actress that stood out and try to boost these boycotters attacking their game, you're gonna lose your job. It's like going to the Starbucks, if you're working at Starbucks and talking trash about Starbucks as an employee and cashier at Starbucks. You're gonna get fired because you're misrepresenting the company, and people have to realize you're still an employee for these companies. I think this goes back to a lot of the new age voice actors that are still Gen Z, still millennial, that have this modern take where they can influence and push their politics in their employment and their workplace, when in reality that's not something you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be focused on your work. And it seems like this concept and logic has escaped a lot of the people that are working nowadays. And these voice actors, they're losing their jobs. You can see that from their response. Valerie Rodriguez, who played one of the characters, at least the English voice actors for some of these characters, she comes out and berates the fans that were rooting against her, calling them effing losers who deserve to die alone. And I would bet $1,000 that you are incredibly depressed and hate yourself. Get therapy. She just goes on and on attacking the fans after losing her job. And it makes sense why you would fire her if she's willing to attack the people that are playing your games, calling them losers, and attack the company itself, trying to demand it change itself when you're just a small worker in a bigger conglomerate that's making billions of dollars. It just shows the small-mindedness of a lot of the people that have this political progressive philosophy where they're trying to make their mark on these gaming companies in such a way where it's influencing them into the wrong direction. We see this in the Western games development sphere where people are losing their jobs by the thousands, reaching 40,000 people actually losing their jobs within these 2 years within the Western games development market. You see the opposite happen in the Eastern games development market where they're making money, they're hiring more people, they're making efforts to expand their companies, they're having initial public offerings. You saw that with Shift Up. You're seeing it with the First Ascendant, where these game companies are making money nowadays, and it's a complete antithesis of what we're seeing in the Western games development sphere because we're so focused on politics rather than making a good game. But I think it's just funny to see these people that stood up and protest their own company, trying to get them to change it for some particular reason, ideological reason that has nothing to do with the game itself. It's funny to see them actually get their comeuppance, and I think this voice actor is just going off unhinged on Twitter. She's attacking the fan base, verbally attacking them. She's still on to this boycott. She's trying to support these people, and it's just showing the unhinged nature of hiring people that have these political philosophies, because they're willing to destroy your company if you're not in favor or if you don't align with their thoughts. And I think that's the situation that we're seeing with Genshin Impact. But you tell me what you think about the situation. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This is Wagner Knows Why. Catch you next time.